2020 July 27. Daily Bread Passage. Galatians chapter 4 verse 8 to 20. Key verse. Verse 19. Title: Paul's concern for the Galatians. Bible passage. Formerly, when you did not know God, you were slaves to those who by nature are not gods. But now that you know God, or rather are known by God, how is it that you are turning back to those weak and miserable forces? Do you wish to be enslaved by them all over again? You are observing special days and months and seasons and years. I fear for you, that somehow I have wasted my efforts on you. I plead with you, brothers and sisters, become like me, for I became like you. You did me no wrong. As you know, it was because of an illness that I first preached the gospel to you. And even though my illness was a trial to you, you did not treat me with contempt or scorn. Instead, you welcomed me as if I were an angel of God, as if I were Christ Jesus himself. Where, then, is your blessing of me now? I can testify that, if you could have done so, you would have torn out your eyes and given them to me. Have I now become your enemy by telling you the truth? Those people are zealous to win you over, but for no good. What they want is to alienate you from us, so that you may have zeal for them. It is fine to be zealous, provided the purpose is good, and to be so always, not just when I am with you. My dear children, for whom I am again in the pains of childbirth until Christ is formed in you. How I wish I could be with you now and change my tone, because I am perplexed about you. Daily Bread Message. 1. Do not be enslaved by them again. The Galatian Christians had allowed Judaizers to influence them into believing that they must add Jewish practices to their faith in order to be saved. So, they had to eat certain foods or celebrate certain festivals. Those weak and miserable forces were destroying the Galatians' faith. Paul preached a pure gospel. Faith is all that is needed for salvation. Had Paul wasted his effort on them? 2. Become like me. Paul pleaded with the Galatian Christians to become like him. That is, to come back to the pure gospel as he himself had taught them. The first time Paul visited them, he was ill. The Galatians welcomed him and took care of him. In return, Paul taught the gospel to them. This made it all the more perplexing to Paul that they had turned cool to him after meeting false teachers. Paul saw their zealousness, but they were zealous for the wrong thing. Paul was in pain for them as if in the pains of childbirth. He was praying for Christ to be formed in them. Prayer. Lord, help me to watch out for false teachers. Make me zealous for the pure and unadulterated gospel of Jesus' death and resurrection. One word. Become like Paul.